Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tassenix, and welcome to a brand new season of 5 vs 5. It is Season 73, 5 vs 5 Grand Arena Championship, Week 1, Round 1. And my opponent once more is RØXTΔR, the goodest girl of Maw Chromium. And yeah, we fought him last season for the first time in a little while, so him again. I expected as much. Yes, in case you had forgotten, one of the largest accounts in the game at just over 17 million. Extraordinarily well provisioned. But I am no baby in the woods myself. How you guys doing? Ganroth in the chat. Nashorn, hello there. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Let me get this set up and rolling for the music, the predictions, so on and so forth. There. Yeah. All right. And so what are we going to do today? New season. 2 and 3? Does that sound reasonable to you? 2 and 3? 2 or less, 3 or more? I think it's not outrageous. Brand new season. Get that underway. Darth Leia! Hello, Tass, and good luck with a resub here for 6 months. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Feathers, hey man. Old mate Tass, how's it going? It's late for you, right? I know we had our time change. I forget really how that affects you in relation to us, but it is 12, it is some, gotta be in the middle of the night for you. I don't know. 4 a.m. That's a lot. Well, anyway, good morning to you. Right. Here we go. So, rank 12 fighting rank 17. Oh yeah, just another fun fact on the CG Please Fix Your Game note. You'll see that in this top bracket, there's a number of, or sorry, this isn't the top bracket. This is the second bracket. I got bumped down. You see a bunch of the people that you might be used to here. Here's Herbert. Vestara Kai, shout out to one of my patrons who's actually way on up here. Good to see you, man. Barator, Rockstar, these are all contenders in the top bracket. So who's in the top bracket, you? And I'm so delighted that you have. Because it is 7 Erodiums and Sasha. That's what it is. I shit you not. So a whole bunch of us got pushed out of the top bracket because of a huge new influx of Erodiums. And yeah, that's life, man. That's life out here. All right. Good luck today, says Miasmal. Hey, good to see you, man. Always appreciate it. Love seeing. Oh, Calidus, I missed you there. Womp Rat, kick Rockstar's arse, take his name and give it to someone else. All right, I appreciate you there, man. I'm a cutie. Everything below 1860 is a disappointment. Try not to let you down, Paul. All right. Yeah, where was I? Rank 12 fighting rank 17. Robble. My 16.6 million versus his 17 million GP. My top 80 GP is 3.24 million to his 3.244. So pretty even there. Zetas, we both have 431. GAC Omicrons, we both have 88. Top 80 average speed, my 168 to his 170. Bot analysis, plus 25 speeds, my 316 to his 398. 20 to 24 speeds, my 623 to his 615. Plus 20s, my 939 to his 1013. Plus 4% offense mods, my 298 to his 165. I got an edge there. Plus 6% offense mods, my 110 to his 49. Defense 9% secondaries is 170 to his 135. And defense with 14% secondaries is 52 to his 25. So we're doing pretty well on our non-speeds here. All right, relic analysis. Total levels, my 26-27 to his 27-45. It really takes a lot to dwarf me, but here we are. Relic 9s, my 180 to his 285. It is incredible to fathom that there are more than 100 characters that I haven't Relic 9'd already. Anyway, Relic 8s, my 115 to his 22 because he's not broke. Taking them all to Relic 9, that's what he's telling us here. Got me. Relic 7s, yeah, I have 12 to his 0. Again. Alright, Datacron analysis. Total rerolls. I'm the heavyweight with 310 to his 295. Level 9 Datacrons, I have 55 to his 69. Interesting. So I've done more rerolls on less crons. He has a wider base than I do. 6 to 8s, I have 2, he has 0. And 3 to 5s, I have 6, he has 0. Check out the GLs. Okay. Wow, that is a crazy fast slacker. 600. Stunting. Bugga player, good to see you. Wolfman, hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. All right, Jam Hell. Okay. Nicely built Sith Eternal on it. Wow, that's a really fast Okatano, honestly. And yes, very, very quick Pirate King. Okay, so about these so-called meta characters. Wow, that's an enormous offense total. He's just got a little under 100,000 health at Relic 9. So this has got to be some type of crit damage set, offense set, with a health 2-piece. That is kicking. By the way, I did do some remodding over the break. If you're not on my Discord server, you should be, first of all. Second, in the highlights channel I posted, I did a remod for RJ and Starkiller. He's at 346, she's at 345. At the time that I did that, I think it was possibly the fastest in the game. This time of year, I just have like back-to-back dry sneezes, but they sneak up on me, man. All right. Yeah, you're just hell diving, Wolfman? Nice. Might do some more of that a little later. Hey, JJ, good to see you, man. I am Arj, just rated in with 6 viewers. Welcome, man. I was there until you were just about to start Fleet. How did it all end? And yeah, that was a cool match. You versus Fat Phil. Haven't really tuned into Fat Phil yet, but as I understand it, you know him, you enjoy him, and all around support other content creators for sure. Cosley, good to see you. What's going on? Welcome to the show, people. You know where we are. We're still just doing the review. All right, we just finished the Hot Utils review of things. This is the Omega Bot report that I pulled on Rockstar. So this is for his last 5 vs 5 season. Datacron meta has changed. We're just going to look for the weight of the defense he likes to set, right? How many really tough teams is he willing to set down on a habitual basis? And we'll kind of infer from there, right? Attack timing, Rockstar is pretty regimented, isn't he? Always kind of starting in this period. As far as the speed comparisons go, he's the black line. You can see he's got me beat here in this section. But it's not too much. Not too much. We both have all the Grand Arena Omicrons. Nothing to see there. And then for the squad banner efficiency, yeah, he was actually doing a pretty bang-up job of it last season. I think he had some Erodiums in there, though. So these numbers are a bit askew. That said, looks like all season he had something like 3 or 4 drops. So pretty good. You got the final score of 1845 versus Phil, and he hadn't done his fleets yet, right, Arj? So we still need to see what he does. Is that it? You're disappointed in your performance this morning? You know what? You did okay, and here's what's important. For anything that you didn't like about what you did, as long as you remember it, and like you're trying to improve your play habits, and you don't get too many opportunities to practice, right? 3 times a week, that's it. So just be careful. Shake says, by the way, you are still the fastest star killer in the game, tied with 1, the 5-year-old with long name from VDO. Can't tell who. I'm assuming that's one of the goth mommy names. That would be my guess. All right. Defense. What was he setting last season? He was setting Jedi Master Mace, Vader Star Killer, Reva, Seer Malicos Maul, Sortie, Rey Swolo, Lord Vader, Ithano, Ahsoka with Watt, JMK, Cat, Ezra, JKL. Remember, when last we were here, we still had the Hodacron, Raycron, the Supportcron for Queen Amidala, all that stuff, all that in full effect. Only occasionally was he setting Jabba. Pirate King came out late. Okay. As far as fleet defense, Executor, Malevolence, Profundity. Now this was before we had the changes to Profundity when we had Rogue One added, and then B-Wing. So this is old information, right? As far as defenses by zone, we might expect to see bottom front like Lord Vader, probably not this season. Rey Swolo, maybe Pirate King instead of Captain Athano, and then Jabba or Ezra. Sorry, Jabba or Ahsoka, something like that. That's a reasonable guess. All right, offense that he was using last season: Slacker, Bane, Leia, Jabba, 6 out of 9 rounds. Traya, Queen, Gungans, Sith Eternal, BKM, JML, Wampa, Great Mothers, and then other things. Negotiator, Leviathan, always on offense, it would seem. Executrix and Chimera might get mixed up on offense. What did he drop on last season? A couple of Queens, a Slacker with Dre, I'm sure. Jedi Master Mace twice, and that's all. No drops. All last 5ers, 5 on fleet. That was stuff. All right, how are we looking on that Twitch prediction, party people? Juice prediction results: 72% of you went 2 or less. 28% went 3 or more. All right, let's have a look at the board. Okay, so Rockstar has put in a good number of attacks. He has cleared all but the last team in the back. We'll talk about it all in order. All right. I guess in the order in which he attacked here from bottom front. Pulling up the handy-dandy Prime Bot where I was stalking him earlier. Okay, against full Malgus, he got a 65. Okay, Mal. Against Queen Amidala with Cam and Grandmaster, as well as the Jawakron, he scored a 65. Against Ahsoka, Ezra, General Syndulla, Huyang, and Padawan Sabine, that's a 100% health on the stat, 25% turn meter level 3 Kron. He had to withdraw on the first attempt, cleaned it up on the second for 43. Top side. Against Great Mothers, Morgan, Night Trooper, DTP, and Marin. We got a couple bites here. Haha. See, that's a joke right there. He killed DTP and Marin on the first go. I missed his second attempt, but he killed one because he got a banner for it, and then finished it for 32, grand total of 35. Nice. It's good money. Gungans with a 25% turn meter and high crit damage stat. He scored a 66. So, Traya, Nihilus, Savage, Scion. I think you drop Talon there because Talon's the most likely to die. The AoEs and whatnot. Sounds like Traya to me. Jedi Master Mace, Depa, Jocasta Nu, Ayla, and Temple Guard. He actually had to withdraw twice and then got 29. So that would have been a 59. So he still would have lost 6 banners even if that had been his first go, which is probably why it was not first go. Nice. Unlikely that JMM should hold, so huge bonus. Here on Fleet. Yeah, when last I fought him, I'm seeing that he likes to set Leviathan. And kind of a meta trend that I've been thinking about is if I'm seeing that my opponent is usually saving Leviathan, then I would set Leviathan. But if they're going to set it themselves, I feel like I want to take my Leviathan. That way, I'm not put in a difficult situation where I actually need to rely on Executor or something weird. Sheepdog, good afternoon. Good to see you, man. Lady Geek, hey, happy Thursday, Tass. Happy Thursday. Welcome. Black Lion, what's up? Hello, folks. Best of luck, Tass. Appreciate it, guys. So, yeah, quick readout on Fleet. Against Home 1, he got a 76. Against Negotiator, a 76. Boo, Plo Koon. Did not come out. Boo. And against Executrix, I actually had to bust out the calculator to double check. He legitimately got a 61. So we almost had him. We had him on the ropes there. Dig that. So good money there in fleets. All right, now, hold on. We gotta pause the regularly scheduled music to decouple this. Bring up. Okay. See if this works the way I want it. My wife's looking at me like I'm insane. I hope you guys can hear that on stream. You probably can't, actually. I look just as ridiculous to you. But I have the Space Jam music playing right now. How do I fix that? Well, I think what's important is that you know that the spirit is there. But yeah, we got the Space Jam on him here, guys. Saw Rolo, locked him down. Saw Krex, Luthen, Kyle, Cere. Fantastic. Wouldn't change a thing. Yes. Yeah, it is pretty normal. Yes, Lady Geek. You have no idea how normal that behavior is. Trust me. Anyways, yeah, he dusted Lord Vader back here. So you saw that Malgus was up front. Maybe he saved Maz. Maybe he wanted to use Maz on Malgus. I was willing to see, you know, whether or not that was the case. It was probably not the case. 65, yeah. And then Baylan, Shin, Marok, L3, and Cere. I was on the fence with a couple different ideas for Baylan. I was actually thinking about doing like a Baylan Star Killer. Kind of backed off it when I realized that there might be a chance that having Star Killer along with Cere could be helpful to me. So, anyways, he got a 65. Probably Bane if I had to guess. This, yeah, I don't know. I would assume with Krex there, that was enough for him to not risk trying Wampa, but whatever he tried, that wasn't doing. All right, that is the story of defense. Really, really happy with that. Top side. Hey, Kimmy, good to see you. Good afternoon, Tass, and good luck. Appreciate it. All right, Rockstar has got Malgus, DR, BSF, Malak, Sith Marauder with the Iden. Baylan, Star Killer, Scav, which I was going to do, Gas, which I was going to do, I kid you not. I'm actually kind of laughing about that. And then for his Sith, I was going to set Darth Vader in my Baylan Star Killer team, but he decided to commit Dre. So, wow. Right? It's pretty impressive. Anyways, what is this? Okay, it's the prod up level 3. Stun 6. Yeah, that's a bad situation. Binzori. Turn meter, Rose. And then Jedi Master Mace, Jabba, Jocasta, Ayla. Or you know the drill. Alright. Bottom front, he's got Rey, Swolo, Cal, RJT, and Zaris. With the new Raycron, what do we got here? Stacking offense and speed level 3, long tech Stufu level 6, Rey level 9, 39% armor pen, 31% offense, 33% crit damage, 16% health. Followed by Ahsoka, Ezra, General Syndulla, Huyang, and Padawan Sabine with Light side turn meter, level 3. Okay. Ufu, long text, level 6, 49% health, 15% tenacity, 19% protection, 71% armor pen, decent front. Jabba, Chrysanthemum, Bausch, Boba, and Embo with the Swordicron. And then last, Pirate King, Silvo, Brutus, OG Hondo, and then, yes, interesting. Now, what's going on with this? Ooh, okay, so it's still not particularly fast, but that's a crit damage potency set. So, trying to have about 100% potency so that you have good odds of landing at least the days off the second special. Maybe even the buff meter, I think, off the middle. Also stun, right? I think that can also... crit damage would be enormous and only going up from there. 10k starting offense is a fine mark, so this is dangerous. Not fast, but dangerous. What's the crumb? Bulk, Dark Side Bulk level 3, Long Text Pirate level 6. Yeah, man, Nest being Pirate is not great. Hondo, 9. I guess I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I think we can be okay with it. All right. So where do I want to begin? Where's my sheet? All right. I guess Ahsoka. So with the 25% turn meter, that means that what? General Syndulla? Gonna pop out with the fracture. So even a 25% turn meter wouldn't outrun that. I think this is one of the scenarios with Leia on offense. I'm either running her with the 25% turn meter, light side level 3, from set 23, or from the same set, the protection up level. This feels like a protection up level. That stops the CLS Rolocron cheese. Oh, dig that, Striker. Okay. Okay, good to know. The Bowser just followed the channel. Hey, appreciate that. Sorry, that was a minute ago. I missed that. Bad. Yeah, the notification you got said TB and chill. Yeah, Alex, I didn't update Twitch and YouTube before I went live, but after I saw it go live with the wrong message, I updated it before, the show actually started. All right, critical damage. This one. This is, I mean, ideally we would take one that had the stun resistance. You are the stunner. This is actually just fine, right? Less crit damage, for sure, but the stun level 6 will be maybe not necessary, but probably help. All right, let us begin. Still gonna try and pop Ezra early. I can. He might already have the revive buff by that time, so we'll have to just wing it. Alright. Wow, you could have done it to anybody, and you did it to Radis. If it works for you, it works for me. We could go to try to punk him right now, couldn't we? But if we don't do the thing, it could be extremely punished. And I don't think we're just ahead of him here. And I don't want to... Well, he's not going to be able to be saved regardless. If they want to focus him, I can't actually hide him in stealth. So maybe I do go for this. No regrets. My claim to fame is I beat Rockstar back in the old Grand Arena, says Rom Joe Lanu. Yeah, Rockstar is a serious player. It's actually surprising it had been so long since I'd seen him. So, for sure. He die at any point, right? Thank you. Your cooperation in this matter is appreciated. Appadap, don't care. About to say. Be nice now. Yes. Hit like a titan. All right. Strong open. Okay, Jabba. So... I think I'm just going to JMK the Jabba. In fact, wouldn't this be a convenient time to use this other product level 3 crit damage crown with some health The health's probably not ideal for the grenades, now that I think about it, but I think do. How do we want to proceed? My instinct. Image off of Bausch would. If we can kill Bausch and the two sides really quickly, I could basically throw it on auto versus, and then I think, okay. I think I'm still gonna smite Bausch first. What I've resolved to do. Yeah. Portal. Whatever I do, I shouldn't take. Still gonna like ramp Cat's mastery. Yeah, the high defense. Great. Does imply bad things. Wow, we are actually looking at a Jabba getting an ultimate situation. That's never good. We're actually already out of control. Alright. What we need to see is Jabba a generous god? Will he choose to eat a non-cat ally? Because that would be... Chosen by God, hashtag never punished, something of the kind. Deus Vault, all of that.
I want to say we both had the same end result. Like, I also had this happen today.
I'm okay with it. Questions I will not ask.
I'm happy for it.
Come on.
More
2.5 minutes. Come on. Don't make me rely on getting lucky twice. This is rough, man. Come on. Come on. I need this. Holy shit, you're not fucking dead? Die. Please kill him. Twice. That's not twice. Twice. I have to insist on the significance of twice. That's 2x. Ah, stop taking so. With the deaths. Okay, that's special again. Oh boy! Please, only eat this man. Only eat this one. Please. You. Please, this. Armor shred? Okay, it's fine. Not mad. Not actually mad. Please finish this one. We need to do it. Yeah, I forgot just how quickly I can move on you. So clearly, God favors my endeavor. There's no excuse. We had 2 Jabba ults go off. and neither of them took cat. Yeah, we'll take it. Good lesson for next round. Reason to pull and hold Lord Vader is to not have to worry about any of that bullshit. Because your people cannot be instantly defeated if you're doing Lord Vader and the Dark Side clones. Alright. Let us face the music here. Stab OG Hondo and proceed. You know what, guys? It says ads are actually on the way in a minute, and I know you guys are going to want to see this fight, so let me take a quick break as well. I've got, I can smell the missus has made fresh afternoon coffee, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself a cup. I will be back in just a couple minutes. See you in a moment. All right. We're back from ads. All right, here we go. Ooh, Bane. You like how the bot is grammatically incorrect? Yeah, you know, Womprat was kind enough to give me this set of scripts to load in for these notifications. I did not write them, but I appreciate that, yes. Able to, yeah, I see the error, Banjo. Fair. All right. That's 4. Aussie written, that'll do it. Yes. Yes. All right. When descended from the criminals, indeed. Okay, so who got increased? Not him. I'll take them up. 1. 2. Now with Bane here, it's bad to do lightning, right? But I think I still want a middle anyway. Just to get the ultimate charge. Oof. 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 Okay. Starting to pop off. We're almost there. Stay on target. Killing blow. Get him. You should not have come back. The level 9 says you were supposed to stay dead. Right? Very clear about that. I thought the Silvo was also under stealth, but I could have just said. Pretty fair. Good. Down. Down. Good. Alright, we're in the clear. That feels like a good moment to use lightning. $65. So here's the thing. He likes setting Inquisitors on defense last season. I am comfortable using Cere Malgus against it. I have attempted Bane. Bane can go poorly. It is possible to still do Bane. So the question is, do I EP Starkiller this? Because I feel like it's doable. Especially since I've got the particular setup where I'll be able to get rid of the Foresight from OG Cal immediately. What do y'all think? Level 9s aren't rules, though. They be more like a guideline. I feel you, Strike, right? Can't Phoenix work against Inquisitors? Not with Marok, which is what he has done. Furthermore, my Saw team, which he's stuck on in the back, has Crex on it, so Phoenix isn't an option for me anyway. It would basically be Cere Malgus or Bane, I think. For me. Who's my Ufu? I mean... Probably these. Scav gonna be used? Here, Malgus, Al, Brew, +1. Scav. Ball. Regardless, I need a Jedi now. Slot. We're getting low on Jedi, right? That's gonna end up being Old Ben. Doable. This is the buffs. So is less bulk overall than if I had a bulk level 3. Really good cron for our purpose. I think we'll take it. Alright, so Dispel and Run Like Hell. Try not to let Xeris take a turn, if at all possible. Don't let Cal... Yeah, don't let the supports do things. Yeah, we'll just kind of wing it. Well, hello there. Nice. Aqua's... Immediately. All right. That's important. Important. They can't be damaged. We probably should do that as much as we can. On there, I guess. Have to see how it goes. Will this trigger it? I doubt it. Alright, so that was just it. Sure, shields up. That's nice. You're about to cleanse. Yeah, that's disadvantageous. Stun was good. Okay. How about it, Ray? Can I interest you in doing shit? Okay. Good. Shipping? Well, hello there! Alright, as soon as she comes out, approximately 6 months from now, we'll barrel toss her and see if we don't manage to get jammed up on that alone. How's that sound? There's a point. Stay on target. Wow. Like butter. I saw Fatal say this the other day. Yeah, we only have a few more months to enjoy this way, because I'm sure that we'll end up doing Starkiller somewhat differently when he's under the Stranger. I'm really happy about this, because now I have Cere Malgus available for anything. I was originally going to do Cere, Malgus, Cal, Crew, and Starkiller, but yeah. Oh yeah, new Vader. Yeah. That's gonna be cool. That's true. Could be interesting with him still. Maybe. Yeah, I don't want to say you're wrong. There it is. There's the Reva in the back I was telling you about. Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense, right? It's hard to believe that you would have Reva available for offense and find some better use than Saw, I think. Saw or or Great Mothers, I guess. Okay. So he didn't set Saw as well. Task got Saw holds as well. Oh yeah, if you guys came in later, I can give a brief overview again of just a quick flash of the defense. We got a hold with Galactic Legend Ahsoka. By the way, I just missed some Twitch notification. Eritran, so resubscribe for 4 months here with Prime. Thank you so much. Do you plan on talking about the massive news or just wait and see? I'll tell you what, guys. We can do that at the end of the stream. You know, we'll do that at the end of the Grand Arena portion of it, if things don't go too long. I can give you my thoughts, but the short answer is I'm overall pretty positive about it. I think that Coliseum, it depends on what it actually feels like to play it. I worry that it might be like so many other things where it gets solved really quickly, and then we're all kind of running the same teams to push for approximately about the same max score, and then the topmost ranks of Coliseum are going to be people having almost the same score but differing just by a couple of points. I don't know if that feels super interesting, if that ends up working out that way. That's my greatest reservation about it. Otherwise, over the entire large set of changes, I think it looks good. I think especially that for how many of us are always wanting something new in the game, but lamenting that something new would come at the cost of more time required. That's not the case. You know, they're at least that's their design intention, is for that to not be the case. So they're removing galactic challenges. They're, you know, they listed in that post. I don't have it in front of me. Just a number of things that they're going to do to reduce the amount of time that you're spending in game, such that with whatever they're going to add in, it shouldn't feel like a net increase. I like that. That's respectful of our time as players. Give us something new. They know their game well enough to know the metrics where, you know, okay, this is the sweet spot where we can look to get this many hours of time out of this person per day looking at this phone game without it being too much for them, without it being a cutoff, you know, a fall off from them. And I trust in their judgment about that. So I'm interested to see. Anyways, yeah, just briefly recapping the defense. Up top, he did 3-shot Great Mothers and 3-shot JMM. So I want to say, he'd already put in some effort here in the back, but then he did all his work up top before he came back here and put another couple attempts in on Saw, and that was it. But Saw Rolo got it done. There's nothing really new or unconventional. If you haven't looked at these guys before, I know there's a few different builds of Luthen. Mine is speed with a 2-piece of defense, protection, primaries for cross, triangle, circle, high speed, and then as much defense as I could reasonably pack onto him. I'm hearing, you know, from Fatal, here from other players in the chat about a crit damage oriented build. So that means that you would want to rely on somebody else to be your tank, in which case, Baze, Cara Dune, something. But I really like the 1-2 punch of Krex and Cara Dune, right? Krex is going to do that AoE tenacity down into Cara Dune doing an AoE TMR. Very nice. I usually do base, but yeah. Credit to Dagger, when I was in my planning phase, he said he was going to go with Cara, and I said, you know what, I'll wing that too. So, gotta give him what credit due. All right, yeah, and then up fleet, he just one-shot everything. I didn't leave him anything super substantial. Although, notably, he got a 61 on Executrix, so almost. All right, back to the show. Let's start filling in spreadsheet. This. Okay. So yeah. Reva. Yeah, I would have preferred to have Reva on defense myself. Nothing doing. Not going to try for that. Not against it. Zombie. Why? Why zombie? To delay me killing great mothers by a turn? That could be significant. Not insane. Alright, that's fair. That's okay. This is actually a decision point because you didn't have Saw and Great Mothers down together at the end of last. So I have to actually think about that. Okay. Yes, I 9S. Yup. So Cere, Malgus, Al, Brew, who? Fulcrum, Scav. I can use a Scav Cron, that's fine. If I have a better just set 24 Cron, I'll probably just go with that. Alright, let's map out the rest of the top then. So against Malgus, could do Sith Eternal. So he doesn't have Lord Vader down. So, okay. Malgus means that we can use Maz here. I guess we'll give that a go. Why don't I move Cere Malachos to Saw, Reva to Great Mothers, and then do Jabba on his Reva? That's a reasonable option. Binzori, I might look up, but I think my Afra could handle it. I think with the Darth Vader Cron is something I've done in 3 versus 3. I'm willing to bet it would work roughly the same. Yeah. A reasonable amount of added tenacity. So, could be a problem for Afra. Wow, so you actually have a glut. With the Eternal. Traya. Completely forgot about you, embarrassed to say. This is actually... first, Baylan Starkiller. I feel like I fought that last season. Let me check my records, because... Baylan Starkiller. Oh! People were using, like, Gungans with the double damage. Yeah. Fair. I think Bane Sass, though, will work, right? I think Bane works against this Baylan Starkiller. I expect that will be the case. That. Hey, Nooch just raided in with a party of 6. Welcome, Nooch. How's it going, man? How was the round? How'd it finish out for you? Wow, we got 50 people here in an afternoon over on Twitch. And what do we got? Oh, wow, 50 people over on YouTube. Wow, like 100 people hanging out. Nice, guys. Good seeing you on a, what is it, Thursday afternoon. Ay, all right. First, let's have a little fun. This is, I guess, our privilege for having saved Maz. Ixcron. Let her rip, right? This should be kind of fun. He said, hopefully. I better not lose this for any reason. I would be pissed. What does this Kron do, real quick, before I hit the go button? Okay. Evasion up. Kind of annoying. High health. Good smattering of stats otherwise. I can respect the move. So, yeah. How'd it go, Nooch? Or anybody from Nooch's stream? Usually when the streamer, him or herself, does not immediately respond, that is an indication of, I'm running away from the computer. Hit the men's room. Wilson Boy, 123, thank you for the, for the follow. North Mountain, good to see you. Yeah. All right. Let us find a way to kill you. Okay. We have to do this, then we will. You will be among the first to die. Now, all of this means about you strip up. Oh, that was fun. Out of curiosity, friend, what would this do? Fantastic. Kicks Quiggled. Sorry for the cough, it's nagging me. Oh, Ithano. Who could forget Ithano? Okay. Sith Eternal, with like a good Kron, can solo this. See with Watt, with just about anything, duo this. So why don't we just say C Watt, because I don't have to pinch the banner. Worry about it. I panic. Great mother. Oh yeah. Traya could still. The Saw Rolo makes me that it needs. Show me the data. I hit the... Yeah, see, Trey is a 40%. That's what I was afraid of. Cere Malgus is even. Really? Really? I mean, I guess this composition is less often seen. And here I am saying I didn't have a good use for Baylan. All right. FIFA for what it could be is Cere moves to Saw, but yeah, no. Why did this not work? Both of you had Star Killer in the first place, so probably best not to. Great Mothers. Is Saw something? What is the key to this? I would say that Spirit is the least important thing. Data about true. That was with Hodocron, so yeah, different world. We do have protection up level 3 though. I do have Jam. So JML is what I'll use against the Finn. Don't have to risk anything. That saves me. I can use C on JMM, Bane, Bass on Baylan, Star Killer. But the Great Mothers is something I need to. This is interesting, the DTMG on Finn. I think I actually heard from TJ that he tried this and that shit ain't work. Yeah, there's Afra. I see you, Afra. Have you? Alright. Oh, good. I did sort one out of these earlier. Yeah, that looks about right. Damn. Commandos, Malgus. JML, 59. Interesting. Riva, yes. So, the two-way stretch on it. What about Traya? What made you work? High defense. This was not high defense. It wasn't high health either. Yeah, so it wasn't super high health. All right. Maybe that is our solve. So Riva goes here on Great Mothers, and then Traya, Nihilus, Savage, Alan, Scion. With what cron? 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. High defense. Something comes to mind. Is it possible that I might not end up using Jabba? That feels bad. Okay. Your opponent hasn't played his GAC yet. Really want him to. I just switched out some defense and I want to see how it works out. Nice. Good to see that. Can Wampa work on any remaining team? Ask was that Nashorn? I don't think so. I don't want to try. Yeah, Jabba versus Reva is cool. I was actually gonna do Cere Malgus there. But yeah, Jabba versus Reva can work. Arctic Gaming says, nice hat. Glad you noticed. Appreciate that. Dust Cannon. Hey there, Tass. How are we feeling going against the 4th biggest account in the game? So far, so good. So far, so good. We're not having a terrible day. Some of them had about only dark side. The health is perhaps a liability. This seems like the best suited, but that's the one I like most with Inquisitor. I can't use it. Means it's you. We'll go with you. All Relic 9s. We didn't have bulk last time. That is something worth considering. Protection on a dark side with a bulk. This is a good skew. I like this a lot, actually. Higher protection than health. Still bulk. Still beastly. Let's have that. How much money do you think was put into the account you're facing? Serious money. Serious money. Probably like 6 figures money. I had to guess. Yeah, 17 million GP is so wild to me. Basically everything Relic 8 minimum, rows of Relic 9s. Yeah. You get there before. You start seeing rows of Relic 9s before you get to 17, trust me. But yes, what's crazy to me is that I'm 6... Dig this. This is what will actually blow your mind. This is what the gap looks like. Closing that gap between me. I'm at 16.6 million and he's at 17. He has more than 100 more Relic 9s than I do. And I have like 180 something Relic 9s. Think about that. Insane. Alright. See how this goes. Please don't kill me immediately. That is my humble request. Well. Sweep. Not precisely the droid I was looking for, but... Hey. You were supposed to not do that. I like how he's dazed for all of eternity over there. Appreciate that. Dazed again. Hey. Get time consumed. Down increase. Giga Drain. Hi. You know what? Why not? Do I care? Don't be absurd. What do we do? He just gets a free one if we smite it, so it's kind of pointless at that point. Whole bunch of turns they're gonna take Traya and maybe. Maybe Giga Drain's the right move. Have to play it by ear. Won't be able to heal because fire just. But he's a stodgy lad. Okay. What do I do? Be great if I could get any. Can you, like, concoct somebody? Alright, gaining some health is welcome. Not dying is also welcome. Some would say crucial. I ain't this guy's in fucking stopping. Thank you. Alright, so that's critical. Bye. Okay, this is oof. Are you serious? Why will you not die? You have like 1 health. You're supposed to be dead. Go away. Get. Such. Okay, now you forced me to come back up. There. Give me that cooldown back. You just keep hitting him. You're supposed to have ramped offense. What do you even do here? Can't get off you, right? Yep, Giga Drain. Got to. Oh my god. Almost 30. Okay. Said. You please have the thing on tap. Thank you. I can't even do that, can I? I'd love to, but probably regret it. 30 seconds? Shit. Better not be my only drop. 30. Two. Come on. Almost there. 7, 6, 5. Had him the whole time. Anyone who tells you otherwise is an accursed liar. Reroll that music, Mike. Yeah, as usual, Talon kind of dies instantly. So, good. All right. Just like we drew it up. That's right. Turd Ferguson with the hats off. Thank you so much for tuning in, Turd. It's a pleasure to have your viewership. Glad you could be with us today. All right. All right. Ranger Raid has arrived. Well, let me acknowledge that here in just a minute. Welcome, everybody from Rangers. I didn't get a ping or notification. My bad. Sorry about that. Stop it. Thought I was clear. Ooh, that's interesting. Also a ruse. Is it a ruse? The dispel will come soon. I'm gonna do it where there's plague. It will be annoying. Then we're exposed to AoE. I'm gonna go with my setup. You next. There shall be no peace. Bye-bye. Five. Who needs this? Buddy. Oh boy. All right. And now this one, I remember being successful last season, so we'll do this for funsies. Doesn't look like I should need to sweat it out then. He said, arrogantly, moments before his end, why don't I try my Bane idea here first and make sure that I'm just as correct as I think I am. My instinct is to take Set. I would prefer to have Talon. But I think this is what I should do. We'll find out. Wampa Cross. Go. What a wild Starkiller team. Yeah. I mean, so the reason this team exists is because putting Marok in with your Inquisitors basically stops Phoenix from countering it. But now you've crippled your Baylan team, right? Baylan, Shin, Marok is pretty tightly tied. You're going to have a real Baylan lead for mercenaries. But you can make use of him here with Starkiller, and all the better with the Scav Raycron, right? Dre's in there. Gas in there. It's actually kind of nasty. I worry a little bit. Anyway. Nice. 67. Have to keep full value. All right, so that's good. No false steps there. Medi says this guy will benefit from the Relic Delta update. I mean, I guess both of us will technically. He's 17 million. Yes. I mean, the folks at the very top of the game would have. I think it's more accurate. Well, no, never mind. They at the very least they get no disadvantage from Relic Delta, right? How much advantage there is fighting somebody like me, where most of my roster that I use is going to be Relic 9? Arguable. But yeah, fair. That's right, Nashorn. Worry not, indeed. Dust Cannon, that was quick. Yes. Both teams did try hard. I'm a QT. Exactly. Yeah, I'm a QT. I think that this is something that folks on like the Swugga event Discord and stuff, I see a lot of conversation about. A lot of them think, whales are like rubbing their hands together, greedily awaiting the day Relic Delta comes in. And honestly, I don't think about it at all. Relic Delta is for everybody that isn't me, that isn't having a highly relic roster already. That affects all of everybody else. For me, they mean for me to interact with Relic 10. That's my thing. So, yeah. You're right, I'm a QT. Only Tom will be significantly hurt. There's more than just Tom, I think, as far as smaller accounts that are pretty scrappy up here. But, yeah. I would say Tom would be hurt by it, yes. But Tom's in a good guild. He's going to have resources to be able to focus into the characters that are going to take the greatest advantage from Relic 10 whenever it does come out. Duskcannon says, what would be my first Relic 10 task? We've talked about some ideas a couple times, but really, the answer is we don't know what stats Relic 10 confers. So until we do, don't know. Ramjo, I think there's a disconnect about Relic Delta. It's just the difference between relic levels. It's not more progression. Relic 10 is the progression. I don't know that there is a lot of confusion about people thinking that Relic Delta is itself progression. But yes, you're absolutely right. Like, it is the in tandem piece moving along with Relic 10. Exile Ezra is a top choice. Like, Lord Vader was my is my personal favorite. But again, saying that is assuming what we already know about any relic, right? You're going to gain some amount of survivability. You're going to gain some flat amount of mastery, right? So on that basis alone, we can see why Exile Ezra and Lord Vader would be top choices. But too early to say. Lord Vader doesn't matter too much, to be honest, with Maz entering into the game. I take your point on that, yeah. As far as a defense team, I don't really see a lot of Lord Vader holding up. He's 65 mine. I don't see Maz on his defense, so dollars to donuts, that's what he did. And that's fair. Yeah, Ezra definitely looks appealing just on the basis of that mastery. And a bit of health with it, but all final judgment reserved, guys, till the very end. How powerful. Got enough crit damage. And I don't have to take the risk, like I said, so I won't. Technically speaking, defense would be the best thing, right? If I could use this.
You will need a third.
I was just about to say, wouldn't it be cool if I brought GBA and then had reasonably higher banners anyhow? So I know what you're saying, though, to not be isolated, I would need to have a weaker one yet. I guess that would be like B1.
I don't think B1 can get captive.
Oh, he's not eligible for captive? All right, Zuck, you know the job. Am I really going to lose? Am I going to opt to lose? Is it really worth all that? I'm not going to use that Darth Vader cron for health. So why not run this solo with Darth Vader?
Doesn't work.
You're saying it doesn't work? I've seen multiple streamers here this week do this.
I mean, I didn't get to try it because my opponent, neither of my opponents placed it, but Leia tried it, and even with attack, he failed miserably. So,
No.
I have not Leia to work for you. But, yeah, you don't need the risk.
It's true, I don't actually have to risk anything, so that is fair.
If you feel like experimenting, sure. Go for it.
Wow, we're going to do a little bit of math. My reference. Ba-da-ba-ba. Erosion proof. So 0.5 of the health. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. We'll take Zuckuss then. He will be our sacrificial lamb. I'm surprised, though, that B1 isn't eligible for capture.
Apparently, I'm being told that B1 is. Go for it.
See what B1 is easy mode? You do what in B1? Okay. You guys are saying it can be done? All right, well, I'm willing to put it to the test, because I think I should be okay regardless. Darth Vader Cron, or just rock this giga-ass health that I have? I think this will be... Let's have it. Alright! B1 is captive.
What is
B1 is also getting piped, as they say. Old style. Bob them, please. Goodness. Sure, I'm glad I got her. Oh. Ah. Big freaking hit. Goodbye. Oh God. Stop. Panic. Panic. Really need to be able to chains again. We're one turn out of phase. What to do? Survive? Pray? 5. Okay, so that did not work in the manner that we had intended. What is the plan? Transform, nuke, lock the others, and pray. I think pray is the answer. Yes. Really wish you would stop. Fuck. Emphasis on stop. Yeah, I don't want to relink until I could move off of the tank man. I really didn't want to have to deal with a scenario where I couldn't link these two later. Yeah, mild terror. Mild terror ensues. Several Sith Eternals lost last season into your mace. I could believe that, man. I want to say I was mostly doing JML. Yeah. What B1? Okay, so now I learned something new. The B1 getting to soak captive is great. He gets to soak it for so long. That was a lot of hits he took. He was better than any tank I could have brought, for sure. 40 cron, right? Ads are on the way in a minute. Yeah, that was Scaly says Feathers. Yeah, that was Mild Terror. That was with a 2-piece of defense on Sith Eternal and a bunch of good defense secondaries on health sets. And yeah, just a whole lot of health added. The Darth Vader Cron might have made that feel a little safer. What do you guys think? Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, for this specific purpose, for going against JMM, B1 was really convenient. I'm a QT. Yeah, otherwise I really like C Watt GBA. So you have the respawning tank. If they kill GBA, Watt could revive him. Stuff like that. Careful with the cleanses. I've used Reva to smoke Jabbas. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who all's got a cleanse that I need to worry about? Jabba's middle is a cleanse. Sorry?
Jabba plus Scando.
Jabba and Scando. Scando's third is a cleanse.
Swap is a cleanse.
And it's not advantageous to have him, because I would want to do the swap. So we'll just take Boba in his stead. Yeah, offensive Dispel is not the same as Cleanse, so that's okay. Are there any other cleanses? Is Jabba's middle? That's it?
Correct.
Rex says, if by some slim chance B1 survives, it keeps health and protection banners. It sure would. It sure would. If it should survive. But if GBA dies, Watt can't revive him. No, that's not true, Dust Cannon. GBA can be revived. B1 can't be revived. But GBA can absolutely be revived. In the general sense. No revives against Mace team in the Zeta lead. Oh, yeah. Specifically in that matchup, you're right. No revive. Yeah. Well, that's what I was just saying, though. Like, here against Jedi Master Mace, B1 does seem to be a good choice. Otherwise, when I'm doing C Watt and you're seeking a third, I like GBA for the aforementioned revive reason. Yes, not against Jedi Master Mace. We'll start this fight just as soon as we're back from ads, guys. A lot of you have been beneficiaries of gifted subs, especially in the last few weeks. Thanks for all that, guys. So most of you were kind of just chilling with me. There are probably some people. All right, we're back. So yeah, important to not use Jabba's middle, I guess. At least not until later in the fight. Something of the kind.
Does Jabba getting Deathmark really affect anything?
It could. Like I said, that's maybe an option for later in the fight.
No, he can't be targeted, though.
If he gets Deathmark, he would be targetable.
Okay, so Deathmark has higher priority than untargetable.
I don't think he has an untargetable, like you're thinking. He doesn't have like a Mom Mothma untargetable thing.
Why tripping? You can't target Jabba while presenting his life for the first time.
I'd have to check what the condition is, but it's not that he's untargetable.
Oh yeah, he also can't get Deathmark. That is true.
He can't get Deathmarked? I'm pretty sure I've seen a Jabba with a Deathmark.
No, whilst you have the honey buff.
He can't get Deathmark while another Hutt Cartel member has the buff.
Yeah, also because of the untargetable stuff. Yes, but look in the chat. Argos posted it.
Jabba the Hutt is immune to taunt effect. Can't be targeted during enemy. I would. Yeah, that's what I'm literally looking for. Where is that?
That's his lead.
His lead.
Yes.
Immune to taunt effects. Yeah.
Jabba is better.
So that means that we can use second freely. Okay. Let's have it. Thanks for the reminder, guys. Appreciate it. All in the chat. Reminder about the leadership. Who to put this down on? Terror. You have no buffs to speak of, but there is some. Why the hell not? Good. Alright, you've been killed. They all have tenacity up for the most part. This is kind of worthless, but you can dispel the taunt, maybe doing some good for them. Terror! Gotta say. Good.
That sounds like a lot of not gonna happen.
Yeah, not gonna work. Good. This is why we keep this here Malgus in the tank for just such an occasion. So that's our first drop of the day. Zero plus. All right, so an AoE. So all scav? Scav over crew, really? Gonna open up with, well, here's the thing, if we don't have a pre-taunt, just get that. Alpha. Careful. Probably bring crew. Take Maul. Beer Crown?
No, Cere Ground.
I don't think. I think we'll go with armor penetration. Ufu ability block's kind of crazy. But you stand. That's not good for us. Ups up is really good. Talk about dark. This is actually kind of ideal. Very offensive profile. The only disadvantage is no bulk. That is the real question. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Alexander. You can ability block the Inquisitors with the 9th. Yeah, I wasn't really looking into that. Armor penetration. Poor, but the crit damage offense. This is bulk. Offense, protection, health. These are actually pretty good. You're talking 45% added health and protection. How much is that really worth? It's a pretty good one. In terms of the bulk. Alright, I'll feel silly if we get AoE'd out so quickly and I didn't have enough bulk, maybe to survive the opener. So, that's the plan. Away we go. Do with me. I was kidding. Alright, you there. One. This is... You're still gonna have frenzy, so we're about to pop off, yeah. Outright. Oh! Oh! Not that. The next person take a damn turn. Good. Call him. Right? Okay. So you do AoE shit that I don't like. You say it's fine. All of you die. One. Nice, we got the kill on that AoE, so we got 5 stacks back. That's the ticket, and we're popped. We are just popping right off. So we could have done this the first time. But yeah, would have been a 64. We'll take a 44. Alright. Jabba wasn't the man we needed him to be today. I can live with that. Alright, Finzori, we will just take out expeditious. Presumably it was big protection cron with turn meter. Oh. Both teams indeed tried, yes. Yes, QT. And you. Good question. Okay. I will guess we'll take you out first, and I'm gonna save this. You go. Now we're waiting for. Right? Get under protection here. Ow. Not very nice at all. Ow. Bit. Keep. A bit. Better fucking not, yeah? We're not permitted to terminate the fucking Galactic Legend. Thank you. My man, you are not supposed to take this many turns.
Wow, that was just...
It's outrageous, the number of turns.
Yeah, bullshit.
That's incredible. I guess we could attempt Wampa for the remainder for fun. There is some Inspire, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll pop off the same way. What's the least I can do? So that's my two.
Testing.
Sorry?
Testing that cost him away.
No, I thought that was a very safe thing to try. So I'm just as surprised as anybody that did not work. Health-based character. It's probably not my best call. Let's see. Yes, they do have the offense ramping. Yes, they do. But that's not the confusing part. The confusing part is why that was ever. Well, I mean, I know why. It's because I left I hit Resistance Zero Finn so hard early that it put him into stealth. It was not my intention. That means I couldn't mark him. So that was my bad. I misplayed that. Realistically, Maybe just AM or something. Sure, why not? Defense. 50% health. Probably not the right decision. Just CLS it. CLS is classic, yeah. Also, Iden. Iden would work here. Doesn't really matter. Take a protection up. Okay. Have such. I do.
There's no time for your foolishness. My goodness. Oh, my.
43. CLS has some use. I mean, whatever. He's a cleanup. Yeah, it's not as good of a feeling as some things. So, CLS, Chewie, Han, Chewpio, C3PO. Yeah, that stacking offense can make it get out of hand. I was, I could have done something. What would that something else have been? Yeah, it could have been Afra. Afra with the Darth Vader crown I've done before. The reason I didn't go with that is because it has a pretty good amount of tenacity on that crown. I guess the Darth Vader crown would have largely countered that, but not entirely. Alright, we're done with ground. Let's pay out the prediction. Those of you who believed in me were correct to do so today. All right, 1366. Okay, and as expected, he is setting Leviathan. Okay, so Leviathan gets Leviathan, Home 1 gets Profundity, and Executrix, I guess, gets Executor. We tripled that last time, I believe. Alright. Is he stuck on Saw? Yes. Yes. How hyped are you for an Afra tank? Yeah. Man, I'm actually really excited about that. I'm a QT. Yes. After having a tank, meaning that she will have more full-time use. Yes, like both as an offensive and a defensive team, I'm really excited about it, man. I'm actually pretty stoked. There's a lot to be excited about in that post, guys. There's only a couple things I have a little bit of reservation on, but on the whole, pretty happy with what I saw in that post. All right, here we go. But yes, Dusk, he is stuck on Saw, so as long as I clear, I should be good. He may yet have something, but I doubt it, I really do. We were first. Imagine if Afra had her FTC with IG-90, a force of nature. I mean, that would be... What I'd like to see is a lot of the power that you would get only from the Datacron somehow incorporated into the IG-90 kit, right? That would be the ideal scenario. You really want to push for Afra now, says Depressed Wampa. She's been on the back burner. Yeah, she hasn't been a super priority, but I would definitely say that you are better off making sure that you have Stranger Stranger's going to be super meta defining. I can't say what IG90 is going to do to Afro though, so I could be wrong, but I think you kind of know what you're getting with the Stranger, yeah? Okay.
It seems RØXTΔR did not in fact learn the lesson from the last time.
Yeah, I think this is actually what did happen the last time he and I fought, so.
Yeah, I would say he did not in fact learn the lesson.
Fair. Vader will be an elite marquee, yes. Ivan Cutie says, if Vader is another GM situation, which he is, we will have a meta-defining team right there as well. You are 100% correct. Every reason to expect that to be the case. I really want to punk down your stacks. I can't let you get up to 2. Yeah, this one. Crappity grab. Grabbings. Fine. Nowhere near 30. That's the important part. That's fine. Music? Oh, music. Almost there. Stay on target. Oh my fucking god. How many turns? What's it take to finish that ship? There it is. Okay, 71. Nice. One of the better outcomes. Okay. On 1, Profundity, load up. Yeah. Let's see here. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Weird that my C didn't work versus Baylan, but new batch worked. I mean, I don't know. C isn't that great. Baylan doesn't allow for instant defeat, right? So, not good? I think. Wow, what a streak.
I'm doing something for once in his life.
That's right. He's permitted. He's legally permitted to do stuff, and it's great that sometimes he even recognizes that. It means a lot to me, man. No assists, but he's just big chilling. Good. There we go. There it is. Why can't I get this RNG with my Profundity? Yeah, well, I mean, for this match, it's not. You're not really depending on it.
You can pay $50 to get that RNG.
That too. All right, so 76 there, as expected. Then let's see if everything is okay with this one. I recall what I did last time was I just want to say I brapped down the tank immediately. Might be wrong. What did I do? Play, yes. Is that what I did? I did. I went right in on the tank. So be it. Yeah, tough to regret that. All right, we'll do that. All right. Yeah, you remember that scene from Rogue One? Dust Cannon says, all right, I have a meeting to head to. Great match to watch. Cheers, Tass. Thanks for showing out. Thanks, Dusk. All right. Let's go. Double tap? Nope. That's good. Who's the next priority to die? You. Oh, you dodged, bitch. Alright. The double taps are with me on this day. Hello there. If I do this, you might even die too quickly. What's coming out? Dispel. Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the ass. It's not really worth the effort. Finish the job. We'll take it. Take the money and run. 75 will do. All right. 1808 to 1482. Even if he does clear Saw, we had less drops overall, so we can, rest assured that this one is secured. So, as always, first, GG to Rockstar. Good seeing you again. And very likely, see you next week, possibly even in bracket 3. I don't know. We'll find out together. But GG, man. Let's go ahead and do the wrap-up. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the GGs. Cosley, Irokoro, thanks, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So, yeah, if you weren't here at the beginning, just another quick flash. We got a hold up front with Ahsoka Tano. Looks like he's pretty frozen up here on my Saw team with Krex, Luthen, Kyle, and Cara Dune, Rolocron equipped. Up top, he had 3-shot Great Mothers, 3-shot Jedi Master Mace, and then he was clean here in the back. Got 76, 76, and then a 61 on Executrix. So, nice. All right, as far as attacks go, bottom front against Rey, Swolo, Cal, RJT, and Zeres. I made what ended up being probably the most pivotal decision of the match, I would say. Using EP Starkiller here, with having my Starkiller faster than Mara Jade, allowed us to really control this fight well. Took it on down, worked it so that I was able to drop the ship, restore my banners, get my 65. Beautiful. Against Galactic Legend Ahsoka, Exile Ezra, General Syndulla, Huyang, and Padawan Sabine went in with Leia. Just popped Exile Ezra on that first turn that I passed from Jin to Drogon, blew him right up, and that's it. Fantastic. Against Jabba, Chrysanthemum, Bausch, Boba, and Embo. Yeah, I used JMK. I will not be doing that again. That felt terrible. This guy ended up getting 2 ultimates out, 8 JMK the first time, then Padme the second time. So I won with a 62 that I did not deserve, but we'll take it. Against Pirate King, Silvo, Brutus, OG Hondo, and Nest with the long text, Pyrocron, Bulk level 3, and Hondo level 9. Slacker, Dre, Hux, Faust, and First Order Special Forces. 65 banners. You know, this wasn't so bad, just was a little careful with it, and their damage really never got the chance to kick off on us, so all's well. Yeah. All right, in the back here, against his own Saw team with Krex, Kyle, Luthen, and Cere, we went in with Traya, Nihilus, Savage, Talon, and Scion. Lost Talon really early in the fight. And then, yeah, things got a little dire. Traya nearly died. Savage was getting locked down. I was worried about them continuing to have Luthen basics, increasing the cooldowns on Nihilus. We were stuck behind the summoned unit forever. Wasn't a great experience, I'll be honest, but we still got it done. 62 banners. Against Great Mothers, Night Trooper, Marin, Morgan, and Zombie, that was just full Reva, 65 with the long text Inquisitor's Crown. Against his own Reva, Grand, Ninth Sister, Seventh Sister, and Marok. So I saw people being successful last season using Jabba, Chrysanthemum, Bausch, Embo, and Boba. Yeah, you be the judge. There's other ways I could have played that fight, so who's to say that I could not have done something different and had the desired result? Let me know what you think in the comments. But be that as it may, we got blown out, and yeah, this is why I'm saying it was such a big deal. That team, I may well have been jammed up on. It could have been a problem, but because I didn't use Cere Starkiller to kill Rey up front, I had Cere, Malicos, Cal, Crew, and who was the last one I took? I didn't take Scav. I took Maul. So that was my clean 2-shot for a 44. Up top. Yeah, so I might have well gotten jammed up on that Reva if I hadn't done that. All right, against his Malgus, DR, BSF, Malik, and Sith Marauder was Maz, SM73, Kix, Quiggled, and Athano. And of course, you're not surprised. You know, this team is destroying Galactic Legend Sith, so it did 65 the Malgus. Against Baylan, Starkiller, Scav, Dre, and Gas. Went in with Bane Sass, and yeah, Bane opened up with the third, and essentially the fight ended. Yeah. None of the damage healers that you're worried about survived. Good. Against his Finn Zori Rose, Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe, went in with JML. This should have been a slam dunk. I botched it because I decided to do a single coin to Resistance Hero Finn, which put him under stealth, which meant that JKR couldn't put direct focus on him, allowing Resistance Hero Finn to be free to use his third ability, cleanse himself and his allies, feed Turn Meter, and start the wagon train a-moving. They blew up JML pretty quickly, with forcing the savior out of JKR. I thought, okay, not great, but of course we'll get our next turns, be able to eliminate a couple people and finish the fight. Yeah, those couple turns didn't come, Jack. They killed JML a second time, and it was bad. But we got 2 characters out of it, and went back in with CLS, cleaned up the remainder, total of 45. Against his Jedi Master Mace, Jocasta Temple Guard, Ayla, and Depa with turn meter and 25%, and big crit damage on it. C, Watt, and B1. I was reminded that, you need to bring in somebody to sacrifice to captive. And I was hemming and hawing about it. I was eventually thinking, you know what? I might as well bring my Relic 3 Zuckuss. That's like 6 stars, right? Might as well just feed him in there and let it go. But then B1 was something I was looking at when I had the Separatist sorted, and he does technically have like 1 health, so why not him? There was some confusion as to whether or not that worked, so I was kind of on the fence about it, but a few folks in the chat confirmed it had worked for them. We tried it. I can indeed, double confirm that B1 ate the captive, And because they have to chew through all of his stacks, he actually tanked effectively way better than I think like GBA or virtually any other tank would have. Watch it yourself and you be the judge. But that was a really cool thing to learn. And aside from that, the damage from Jedi Master Mace was impressive. That was a really dangerous fight for us to use Sith Eternal on. I think looking back, if something intensified the damage from this team at all, then I'd probably bring another 2 characters and make it like a real sacrifice of banners to use Sith Eternal here. Like bring another legitimate tank like GBA, also bring armor so I can have the double tech on C. Because if you watch that, Sith Eternal was endangered for a and I thought our setup was pretty generous going into that. That said, 61 banners there. All right, and then in the back for Fleet, no huge surprises. Leviathan, I took in Leviathan, 71 banners. Against Home 1, Profundity with just the Rogue One reinforcements, 76. And against Executrix, once more, Executor rides, blowing out the fight before I could even use the heal, really, to top off punishing one who lost a protection banner. So we got 75 instead of 76, and I can live with that. And that's how the West was won. All right. So, who's running? Who's live? Who can I send you guys into? Because if there is nobody, then I can see if Rabid Beaver's on. He's going over an info post. Looks like he wants to talk about the same thing that you guys are wanting me to talk about. So, okay. It looks like Twitch is kind of open. We can chat for a bit. Will you guys have specific questions from the post? So yeah, I'll pull up a copy of that real quick. Here's my. All right. Well, guys, let me just take another quick break for a minute, and then we'll settle in and talk about this. We'll kind of go down the page and give the thoughts. You know, probably not going to read the full thing out loud, right? But we can talk about what you want to talk about. Get your questions ready. Put them in the chat. And, yeah, you know, we'll talk about it. We'll see you guys in just a minute. Be right back. Hey everybody, appreciate your patience. We're back. Grand Arena stream's over. I won the round. If you're just getting here. But, yeah. You guys... Somebody redeemed Kitty. You want to see the kitty, do you? Miss Tinsel. Where is that sweet baby? Come here. All right, I'll go find her in a second. Let me catch up to the rest of the chat. We'll get you covered, though, Depressed Wampa. What's the reason behind having Marok in the Reva team? So, it's a bug. Dispel debuffs from a random Inquisitorius ally whenever a stack of Purge is consumed or dispelled by any Inquisitorius ally. This last part, whenever a stack of Purge is consumed or dispelled by any Inquisitorius ally, it's whenever it's dispelled, period. So this effectively it's just murder. Somebody in the chat can explain it better than I can. But yeah. I saw a really good explanation Mike earlier on. How's that? Trouble finding it. By the time I find it, I'm sure somebody in the chat's gonna end up saying it. Exactly what the... But,
For what?
Sorry?
For what do you need the mechanic for?
Explain exactly why this, I don't do this fight, so I don't have a picture in my head of how this is meant to work, but this is the bug on Marok, on his unique, that stops Phoenix from defeating Reva.
Yeah.
Explain why this works.
So basically,
Who's dispelling Purge? Who's consuming or dispelling Purge? Because the point is that it's somebody on the Phoenix team that's doing it, causing them to get dispelled, so that means that they're freed up, right?
Rex, Captain Rex, basic is a dispel.
Yes.
It consumes it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, dispels, right? A stack of words, which unfortunately means the bug being that everybody gets dispelled instead of just one. And it's triggering far too many fucking times. But Rex glance on his basic just means they all get dispelled from their what's a diz, right?
Yeah. and that's what's Doom is them being freed up from days. I was just
Yeah.
not 100% clear on the mechanical interaction for this part of the unique. So okay, so it is Craig's basic. Yeah, the chat's confirming you. Yes.
And then they gain DM because of, you dispelling and interacting with the blade.
Yeah.
Purge. Very unideal stuff.
And then it's bad for you from there. So.
Yes, and then you go by.
Where is that cat? Hold on a second. Come here, sweetness. I just ran all over looking. And here you are. Okay. Brett Swampa, here is your kitty redemption. This Tinsel, who is more in a not being held mood, I guess. Fortunately, nobody asked her. So, here we are. Ah, yes. Kitty has claws. I always forget. Alright, Kitty is among us for the moment. Alright, let's take some questions. So, yeah, Ganroth, no question, but I really like the changes. Looking forward to them. Overall, completely agree. For gameplay, I have a question task. To progress with era level, would we be able to do it with hoarded crystals? Or we'd have to spend real money? Or is it going to be with the help of episode pass and buy character shards with crystals? I don't know.
He did progress.
Speak up, Jake.
Marquis are the same, so you buy shards and then so you get to do more damage, earning more revolts. Same shit.
Yeah, okay. So the marquee
don't feel-
system is still preserved in that sense.
Yeah,
but,
that's really bad.
but how does that work within the era system itself?
So you just don't get to use it anywhere the fuck else.
So you're just unlocking it, but yeah, right. It doesn't get to join
Yeah, he's just
Grand
completely
Arena.
useless aside from that one shitty new mode they introduced. And there's your $100, man. Enjoy.
If you press Wampa, that won't be the only time you see Tinsel. I'm buttering her up right now. You don't see this, but she's having her cheeks vigorously petted, which is what she likes best. She's currently curled up in a ball, enjoying that on my mouse pad. And as soon as I'm done, she'll be happy to get right back in my lap to get similar. Come here. Been captured. Here. Be sweet. Not dig your little claws into me. Show them how sweet you are. Yes. Yes, sweet little baby. Yeah. Is she not precious? Sharp. Okay. Let me see. Because
The one thing I really like, though, is the new player stuff they're doing. That
talk about that. New player stuff is not something I'm usually having on my radar. I know they had that in here, and I look, my eyes kind of gloss over, like, good, this is all good to be helping out new players.
Basically, fast track to level 85, plus you get a whole lot of, really nice characters, like Lightspeed tokens, for relicking them, off the bat. The entire 3-4 months coming are just gonna be nice relics. So that's nice of them.
Fair.
I mean, it's not gonna matter for me, you, or anybody the fuck else. But yeah.
Let's see here. What do I think about Coliseum? Asked Kozlychek. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it because I want new content. Right? We all want new content in this game. I think some of us would prefer, more PvP or more PvE, whatever it is. But I'll take it however it comes. And this is cool. This is cool. A new way to employ your roster. Now, what I was saying earlier in the stream, if you missed it, Cosley, is my biggest concern with Coliseum is for each one of these bosses that'll be rotating daily, there's going to eventually be an optimized strategy for approaching it. That's just the way these things go. And so what I am worried about is that it's just going to be the same high-end rosters competing against each other, all having all the same options, all of them using the same teams against those specific bosses, and then their scores are all going to be super high and maybe only a few points apart about, who's going to hustle hardest to beat the other guy's score by 1 or 2, I don't know. It all depends on how it rolls out. Conceptually, I like what Coliseum is. I also appreciate that they are reducing the amount of time that you're spending elsewhere in the game so that you've got the time to spend on Coliseum. I'm cool with it.
But one thing I'm also happy about is mods are irrelevant for now.
Explain. How do you mean?
You can't apply mods to the characters while in Coliseum. There is no place to apply them.
Maybe that's going whoosh over my head.
No mods, fam.
No mods. What do you mean?
You can't apply mods, fam.
To what? You mean you can't mod era units? Is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, makes sense.
Fair play and all that, right?
Sure. One of the things I don't like is if you do whale out for the new marquees, you won't be able to use them until the era is over in Grand Arena. And you could say, oh, well, that's nice. Whales don't have another advantage. It's like, I guess, but that's not an unhealthy thing for the game for people to whale for the new characters, because even you, if you're free to play, would look at that and be interested in the intel that you might gain by seeing how those teams perform. So if nobody's an early adopter, then nobody has that information. And, the game does depend on a certain number of people whaling out. So I don't think it's a big, it's just kind of a, kind of lame. That being said, though, it is a disadvantage equally applied, right? Nobody gets to do it, so whatever.
No, the issue is that the people that willed, you'll get to use like 5 to 6 of them at the same fucking time, instead of them being spread out.
Which does actually, if you think about it, that's kind of an elegant solution to why they've had to make these bespoke datacrons that give you like a level 9 that's boosting up. Like, remember the Night Trooper cron that we had before we had the Great Mothers in the game, I want to say? Something like that. They wanted to incentivize you to whale out for certain marquees before the full team was available. But based on that schedule, why should you whale out for it? It's going to be a while before the full team's out in some cases. And that was their, sweetener. If you were willing to whale out for those interstitial characters before you got to the big unlock, you at least would have that bespoke datacron. But then it felt kind of lame for people, A, who couldn't reach to get that bespoke datacron, and then B, when some of these datacrons had varying stats. We all click to the same buttons to unlock the same character at 7 stars. One of us gets, we all have the same 369 or whatever. One of us gets great stats. One of us gets complete mixed bag of bullshit. I have been a victim, and I'm not bitter. I'm glad that you asked. I am actually completely over it, and I never think about it at all. Yeah. So Reds fan says I only farm speed set mods, 350 crystal refreshes per day. I only 6-dot if I end up with 13 plus speed. Personally, I would urge you to be a bit more strict with speed sets in particular, but mods in general. Like if you haven't seen it yet, Reds fan, I see you're watching from my YouTube. So if you search my videos, I have a how-to mod series, and not saying you don't know anything about modding, but as far as a collection of everything that I know about good best practices for which mods to choose to start working with, when to start, when to stop taking them up further if you don't get the speed rolls you're looking for, the offense, the defense, whatever it is you're targeting. When to pick it up later, when to use it as it is, when to just plain sell it. All these types of things I cover in those videos. And I would say that if I'm taking a mod to 6-dots, I want it to be like 15 speed, if not before the 6-dot, at least after, which means technically I'll live with it being as slow as 14 when it's at 5A. But if it's a speed set, I would still probably do it if I was short on certain primaries or whatever. But the point of being in a speed set over anything else is to be fast, so don't compromise too much on speed rolls. Like, I want to have something like a 5-speed average per roll on a secondary in the ideal case. You're shooting for that 25, right? How much of that you're willing to trade away, I would say, is okay based on how good the other secondaries are. I can live with the mod being no faster than 20 or 21 if I also pick up a 4% offense secondary, a 10% defense secondary, so on, you know? Anyways, yeah, same thing they did with the Oppo focus datacron. Yeah, exactly so. Zoltar says, hopefully with the release of Coliseum, CG will give attention to TW and GAC. They've said nothing explicit, but we did not know that this info this info dump was coming in as much detail as it was. We were owed some information about the final results of Relic Delta whenever they did that. That is in here. We were owed some information about, what are the materials that are going to go into Relic 10. We get that here. But there's still some questions yet outstanding. So who knows? I was just talking about, wasn't I talking about this just the other day in Discord, Chick? About, why can't we do something in the arena from Geonosis?
Yes, happy to know there's a CG spy in. Sorry? Happy to know there's a CG spy in our ranks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, such is the reach and the command of this channel that CG really wasn't actually going to go for this until they saw, I guess me talking about it on my Discord, which was not on stream, which really speaks to their intel gathering skills. They're really deep into what I think, apparently. Anyways, yes, it's amazing that this is here. I look forward to seeing what it does, really. I am worried that it's going to end up being, just like the raids are. That's what I'm worried about, is like the raids, as soon as they come out, it's a matter of days in some cases. When all of the best meta compositions are solved for, or at least feasible ones that still help you get max score straight out of the gate, more or less. I think that's kind of lame when that happens, and I'll be interested to see how they deal with that as a challenge. All right. That's right, Swuggle Gameplay. You could use the other Empire with that focus datacron and Oppo, and it would treat them as if they were clones. That's right. It's exactly what that was meant to be. It was a sweetener. All right. Reds fan says, I stopped at blue quality and 1 recalibration. 14 speed at 6-dot is minimum. Yeah. It depends on where you are in the game. I don't want to tell you that you're setting your sights too low, but if you were in, I don't know, probably the top 200 of Kyber 1, something like that, I would say if you're talking about speed set, because you just said you only farm speed mods, which, by the way, I also would tell you to diversify your bonds, dude. If this was like 4 or 5 years ago, you would be cracked having just the very best speed mods, because that was probably the very best way to have your stuff set up. We didn't have relics then. You didn't have things that gave you more benefits scaling off of life total, scaling off of stuff like percent defense. Like, you didn't have as many base stats to multiply through in the older times. So you didn't get as much value out of offense at crit damage set. I mean, you still did. You still got them. I still had them and used them. But speed, to say speed was king a few years ago is a true thing. But over the last few years, the complexity of the kits, the the generous amount of speed given out in kits as newer kits have come out, more turn meter based stuff where you're getting more bonus turns, frenzy, blah blah blah. All these things that raw speed, it means that raw speed is less important. So if you actually have been sticking to a regimen of farming only speed mods for a super long time, you would very much benefit from looking into offense, defense, tenacity, potency. Those are probably top picks for you. Consider that. Let's see. Striker says you're not really looking forward to Coliseum. It's like the old raids, which I hated. I am worried, about that, but we'll see. Final judgment to be reserved. We're right to express our concerns. That's fair. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, boss is rotating daily. Yeah, I guess it depends on how much difference there are between the top ranks of rewards. Hopefully not too much. And yeah, so there's going to be 4 bosses. So every 4 days, your bosses rotate. It won't take long to suss out what are the best strategies.
Like, if it's the same as like CPIT or something, where you being first meant you get the majority of the rewards and everybody else got fucked. It'll just be who can get in the fastest. Like, be ready at reset and just lock the fuck in.
Well, I think the way I could be wrong, but I thought the way it works is like whoever has the highest score at the end of whatever the cutoff period is daily. That's it.
Yeah, okay, but assuming that everybody, assuming that enough drills in a shot means they'll, 7-star level 91 it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what? And then whoever gets in first, because everybody will get the same score, pretty much, right? Once you have the strategy down. So whoever gets in first.
I see. Yeah. You're right. Like, yeah, I remember doing this back in the Sith Triumvirate raid. I remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoever gets in first gets it all. The rest will go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I remember. I hope that's not the case. Yeah, here's what I really like. I like this section about timing game. You got the era challenges replacing galactic challenges. I think galactic challenges, when they came out, they were quickly adopted. There was some initial grumbles, I think, but that people got over it, I think, quickly. What started to be stressful about them is when they started including these marquee characters as feats. But that was after the rework of this episode pass system. That's so much less objectionable when you realize that you don't actually have to max out every feat for every rotation of Galactic Challenge. So I also thought that became pretty forgiving, pretty easy to max out. So sorry to see, I guess, easy rewards go, but again, we want new. We want to see new. This is what new costs. You want to have new stuff and not spend more time. Something's got to get rotated out. I can accept that. Yeah, reducing time spent in conquest and territory battles. Who among us is not pleased with
I
this
am
news?
so happy that I can fucking finally hit that auto button all the much faster. You will not believe how much I despise TP and the fact that my guild forces been played. I shall not say fuck them, but close enough is what I have.
I'm excited to see this. We're also scrutinizing which areas of the game are not only time intensive but become repetitive once mastered. This is a space we are continuing to examine and determine if they should be addressed with quality of life changes or removed entirely. More on this in the future as we watch this release closely for how it impacts time spent in the game. More to come.
Oh, so remove DW once we're at it.
Marquee cadence. Yeah, this I understand is really bad for free to play, isn't it? They extended this out. Marquee character shards will be farmable on a node approximately 13 weeks after their marquee event. So 13 plus 1, right? Now, day 1 technically a whale could have it. A week after that, everybody who does the 6-star thing would have it. And then that clock starts for 13 weeks. Jeez. That's a lot.
Yeah, but isn't that the marquees are?
Isn't it 9 right now?
I don't think so. Plus, the new marquees, the way they're doing them is they all go into the era climb first, and then they come out of that, don't they?
You're not going to have them for 9 weeks to begin with, so it's whatever.
No, everybody gets access to the new marquees and
Yeah.
loaned units now.
Yeah, I'm saying you're not going to have access in DSC and DW for 9 weeks to begin with.
Right.
So it's like 4 weeks after, whatever. It's just normal.
So are you saying that it actually how much does it really matter then? So you're saying that if I understand you correctly, we should be thinking about starting the clock from when the era ends.
Yeah, that's when they become farmable. My understanding is that once you have, so if you get them to, I think in the era, you get them to level 95. In that,
91.
I thought it was 91 plus. It goes to 95. But basically, once the era finishes, they convert over to legacy, and I'm doing that in the inverted commas, characters, which are basically the characters you have now, and the automatic conversion from the 95 is for them to be 7-star and relic 6.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to waste gear and relic materials getting them from there.
Solid.
I think they've picked relic 6 because obviously they're releasing relic 10, and the 4 relic delta is the big one. Past that is just no hope. So I think that's what they've sort of targeted there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like in practice.
For sure. By the way, this is the voice of one of my other patrons, Striker, here in the chat with us. Hi, Striker. All right. Reds fan says, possible for Profundity to just use the tank ship and Outrider versus Executor. Rogue One as reinforcement. This will be 77 banners. Versus Executor, it would be... I've attempted it that way and lost. I've seen people be successful with Millennium Falcon and Outrider out front. No other starter. And then you bring in Rogue One off the bench. Finish the fight with those 3 ships. 77. That's how to get the 77 if you really need it. I wouldn't run the tank ship if that's what you're going for.
Yeah. The 76 is nigh on guaranteed.
Yes,
if
the
you
76
if you want to take a risk for 77. But if you can spare the banner, I would.
Yeah. If you really need the 77, that's how you do it. Otherwise, I would. Yeah, exactly as Striker said. Take the safe 70. Okay, so I think Cosley's saying that it's going to be about 3 months then. Like in terms of from the end of an era to the end of this 13-week period, which is starting concurrent with the start of the era, right? So it's only, what, 90,
I-
90
I'm-
days. That's
I'm not entirely
no,
sure.
that doesn't make sense because that's still 12
That's
weeks.
not how that works.
Yeah, that's 12 weeks. So no, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, TNL 101, how's it going? It's going. We're chilling out here. The Grand Arena stream's done. I did win today's match versus Rockstar, and you guys had some questions now about, this 10-year anniversary. I didn't do a dedicated video on it because it seems a lot of good information. I'm overwhelmingly positive on it, but it feels like there's more, right? And as huge as this info dump was, after I guess however many pages of scrolling this is worth, they said, you know what, this is probably enough for them for now, and they were right. It's okay. Let us digest this, and more news, I'm sure, is coming soon.
How long is an era?
I think they define
Era
that at the
is
very top of the post. Hold on.
Is it
6
4
times
weeks?
12 weeks.
There you
4
go.
months.
One era is 12 weeks, is it?
Yeah, it's 12 weeks. It's 6 marquees, and each marquee is 2 weeks, basically, so 12 weeks.
Right.
Right back to wherever I was.
So it's 12.
Yeah, the relic
weeks.
economy.
So they're saying 13 weeks after the marquee. So it then goes that it's basically the end of the era plus 1 week. Then they become farmable if you haven't already 7-starred them in what you were doing in the era.
Fair.
If that makes sense. If you haven't done enough with them in the era for them to be converted over, you then are waiting for the farming to become available. But it looks like you can buy the packs of them or buy them from shipments. Second week after the release era ends.
Mhm.
So the one that is released first in the era will be farmable 1 week after the era ends.
And then 2
Right.
weeks staggered out from there.
And then 2 weeks staggered out from there in terms of farming them. But the way I read this is that the 6th character in that era, i.e. the last marquee to be released, 2 weeks after that era ends, so 4 weeks effectively, they'll then be in shipments for you to buy.
Fair. All right. Dig that. Yeah, Lady Geek says, can't wait for a week 1 account to buy Hyperdrive bundle and era upgrades and kick my butt in getting Relic 10 materials. I mean, there's no way to avoid this. Relic 10 materials are the top end material now for advancing the very highest parts of your roster. And it's going to cost money for the most part, at least early. I want to say... Sorry?
Just start a new account and buy that Hyperdrive bundle and do this as you said that. The temptation to do this is real now.
I mean, people who are going to spend are going to get these Relic 10 materials. That is entirely by design. There's that's the way it is, folks.
That's the way it has to be. It's gotta be that way. It can't be fully fair. Like everybody can't have the equal chance.
Well, importantly, it does sound like everybody has access to some of the materials. It's a trickle for people who are going to do it low spend, and it's going to be a good bit more than for people who spend. Yeah.
I'm guessing it's the same as TW reward structure, where the lower you go in the 380, 360, 340, right? As you go down, the droid rates start lowering. At least I'm hoping that's how it plays out. And not how the race played out, where it was just the first person gets it all and the rest get the scrap.
Fair.
Because if it's the second, that will be very unfun.
Next question
my biggest
from
concern is the distribution down the pyramid for the Relic 10 stuff, and you'll also. It depends how. do I put this? It depends how seriously guilds take TW in terms of they will share things that work internally, but to limit other people from getting the Relic 10s and therefore having an advantage in TW, they will keep it close shot. I can see that being a thing. And also, if I really hope it's not like the raids were before, because the amount of infighting and the amount of sort of tension within a guild that generated, based purely on someone being available when the raid was running. Like, it meant that you couldn't have guilds that were sort of across time zones, really, because it just
but this is not
meant that someone somewhere was asleep when they were meant to be trying to do a raid.
Just Relic Delta. First of all, love this table, by the way, for the section here. Talking about, where is it? Yeah, these materials in raid shipments being changed from Mark II to Mark I is a huge deal for not me, but most other people, and that's awesome. All right, you meant a week-old account, Lady Geek. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find here, because I'm not exactly sure what you're saying by that. Like, apparently the Hyperdrive bundle for a brand new account that I assume I'm not otherwise able to access if I'm already max level or something. What's that?
It's $10. It gets you level 85 plus like a whole bunch of characters at 5 stars.
But what's the significance on it for having a burst of Relic 10 materials?
No, what Lady Geek is saying is basically you can buy it and it gets you day 1 level 85, right?
Okay.
And afterwards, and if you spend $100 to get the character 7 stars or whatever,
Yeah.
and play the event, you get the advantage over someone that's purely free to play.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, but yes. But, I mean, this is the way things go. Like, people say it's a pay-to-win game, and it is. I mean, it's pay-to-win in the sense that if I have so many more resources than you, you're probably not going to win. But that means that as time goes on, I'm fighting people who are having this stuff, and people who aren't having it are also fighting people who don't have it. So I imagine this is going to be that way, but I agree. Further segmenting the player base always feels whack. That's why I always tell you guys, how many times are we having chats and folks say, oh man, I want to see 7-star mods. Ooh, I want to see ship mods. Like, be careful what you wish for, Like, it's I feel like, at the very least, things that really raise the scale in the game somewhere tend to further segment out the population. So, yeah. Let's see. Let me get this question from Reds Fam. What's your favorite Datacron and least favorite Datacron all time? Least favorite Datacron all time is still probably set
There
1 Ray.
No. They're the right
Or it
answer
was
to
set
this.
2 JMK, I think. Also.
No. Least favourite surely had to be the set 3 that had dodge on it. That was miserable.
I thought... So listen, I was fighting some of the baddest dodge prawn having people at the time, and I did remember complaining about it. I still remember thinking that it was less cancerous than set 1 Ray. If memory serves. Memory doesn't serve, because I can't remember shit about what it did, but there's a big, like, brand in my brain. There's a burned hole where it's like, yeah, that was bad. All right, Swugga Gameplay says, CG didn't tell us what we're getting in our inbox for the 10-year anniversary. I hope it's better than a normal anniversary. Maybe.
It's 3 clone grocery shots, that's all you're getting. Be happy.
And while I would be disappointed if it was just 3 Clone Wars Chewy shards, free shit is free shit.
No, it's going to be good stuff. It always is. I'm sure it'll
Yeah.
be exceptionally sweet this year, but yeah. As far as answering the other half of Reds fans' question, though, my favorite Datacron of all time. Look, guys, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm here for Darth Vader and shit, right? When I got into this game, before I started to, understand enough about the game where I wanted to be competitive in Grand Arena and start the journey, my own Pokemon journey, if you will. Yeah, I was a collector, and it was all about the Sith in the early days for me. So when I think about the glory of the reworked Darth Vader getting to be used with that Empire Cron, where you could just endlessly spam. You could just endlessly spam cooldowns. It was awesome. I'm talking just lone Darth Vader at battle start up against a full Galactic Legend Ray team and all the trimmings. Didn't matter. Really, at the time, I think it didn't matter what the composition was. Feel free to correct me in the chat if you actually have a long enough memory to remember where there were exceptions. But honestly, Darth Vader versus the full Ray team for what would that be? Full banners, it's like a 69, right? Yeah. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I quite like the 4 minutes of Tarking doing the dab, and then you just nuke out Vader at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite funny.
Yeah, with his arm going out. So I've always thought of it more like he's like at a rave, like raving.
Yeah.
And then
he definitely taken something.
And then it's drop the beat at the end with the AOE.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun to do on your own, but it was friggin' boring for a streamer to stick that on their screen for 4 minutes.
Yeah. Local Player Zero says, to me, it seems they have just upgraded everything to Relic and less than Gear 12 will not be seen. I mean, the game's old enough where you guys should have easy enough access to materials where it shouldn't be that hard to take most of the characters that you're actually using in Grand Arena anyway, beyond Gear 12. I don't feel like that's oppressively difficult. And so they mean for you to engage with relics more, yeah. And if you're otherwise been holding off for some reason, you're gonna have more materials than ever to start doing that. So I would say bite down. Like the late game, depending on how geared and how many teams you have and stuff, the game's very different. Very, very different. And then assuming that you even whaled out for all the teams, having the high relics, having the tweaked out, maxed out datacrons, the different spectrums going from the mid to high end for just how different they become as you get closer and closer to the top, it's wild. So if you're really down in the pre-relic part of the game, there's an entirely different experience waiting for you. All right, Reds fan asks, what is my computer gaming setup? Worth buying an OLED monitor? I do actually have a 32-inch OLED monitor as my main. To my right, I have a second monitor. That's a 27-inch, I want to say. I would love to have a third monitor on the left. That might be my next upgrade. Your guys' support last year was critical in me basically doubling my PC budget. So I got just this amazing PC, picked up this monitor, and yeah, I had a certain amount set aside for a new PC, but you guys like completely made me able to have just a really awesome setup. So yeah, I've got the two monitors, got my tower. I want to say I posted the details on it on my Discord last year. I'm sure I could find them again, but it's a screaming system. It's what...
Yeah, you definitely posted pictures, so it was kind of difficult to see them with all the jizz that you'd left on them.
Yeah, RTX 4080 Super, liquid cooled. I forget how awesome the process. It's that processor that last year was like this. It was the like XQD AMD processor, like super high in demand for gaming late last year. That's the one I got, like the one. It's an amazing machine, so love it. Got a Corsair keyboard, Logitech mouse. I guess that wasn't the best way to do it, now, was it? The mouse. And then, yeah, I got a really nice, I want to say it's like the world's first 4K web camera. So now you have the opportunity to see every one of my pores in high def.
I could have really
nobody
helped
thanks you
out,
for
but
that camera.
I'm sorry, you both spoke at the same time. What was that?
Go ahead, Jake.
I could have lived without that info, is all I'm saying.
It's already part of it. It's already what you're seeing. You already experienced it. Maybe you were suppressing it, and me verbalizing it has now broken through that barrier. And if that's the case, I apologize. Otherwise, you were already there. Yeah. All right. Swuggle Player Zero says, I think they should give everyone all gear for Relic 1, for one Relic 10, so they can see what it does and encourage lower players to go for them. I don't think them giving any of the top end materials is likely, but I think like making you have like something like how the episode pass is pretty inexpensive, and you get materials like Relic 9 materials along the way. Just a few, sure. You get like what? Like 3 or I want to say like 4 across the whole pass, something. So that's 1/5 of a Relic 9. You know, okay, that's not a lot. That is not a lot. But it's also, you know, much cheaper than buying like any of the actual packs that give Relic 9s. Just win some TWs and be all right. See if I missed questions. Hey, Heratran, good to see you here. Yeah, I missed Swuggle Player Zero said, like, yeah, it's crazy that a day one player has a chance to get more Relic 10 gear than someone with full Relic 9 roster. Yeah, I mean, it'll wash out in the long run. Certainly in the early days of Relic 10, there's going to be a difference between people who have 1 and have 5 of them, right? Between having, you know, 2 or 3 and then having 10, something like that, like having like 2 full teams able to be Relic 10. Bad news, man. Like there will be gaps like that. Yeah, that will be there. It's going to be 5 of each mat per pass. Yeah, okay, 5. Okay, so it's a 25% of a complete Relic 9 right now. And I would expect that if they offer an affordable pass for Relic 10, it would have similar scaling to them. Sorry, you were saying something, Shake?
I'm saying, like, I'll be happy for Relic 10, because among so many people in my fleet shot, I will be the only one that Relic 10 starts revving. So fuck everybody in there.
But doesn't that just mean that you're the only effective difference is
I can hit auto at the very start without looking.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he will also find out that his guild will tell him that that is not going to be his first Relic 10.
Yes, that is also very true.
was going to tell you. I mean, I appreciate your sense of whimsy and fantasy, but yeah, this illusion of choice is more of a delusion, if you will.
Yeah. I'm aware. We're all aware that there is no choice. It'll be somebody that the guild says, you know, probably one of the GLs or just Revan, most likely, actually, to be fair.
Fair. All right, Aragon.
I need to jump off for my dinner, so I will love you and leave you. But very, very quickly, Tass, which one? You're not allowed to pick Mole with the spider legs. Which one of the new characters are you most excited for?
Probably IG-90, honestly. A full-time tank for Afra. Full-time tank for Afra means full-time, probably, like full-time realistic chance of Afra being a potential defensive team. That's one of the biggest reasons why we hold off is A, because with certain teams like CLS, and depending on the Datacron meta, you can just outright burst Afra down, which is bad, and they did solve that problem with previous Datacron metas for Afra, so I believe that they could bake some manner of effects into IG-90 and more or less preserve that aspect. And then just, you know, offering her a full-time tank, presumably with some type of pre-taunt. Yeah, we're talking about a non-meme tier defense. Really good stuff. Anyways, if you haven't already jumped out, take care, man. Oh, we got a couple people hanging out in the Cantina chat. Let me move. Oh, what are they doing? you guys doing? You know
Let's
what?
go see.
Yeah, let's drop in on them. All right, I'm now hanging out in the Cantina chat on my Discord. I'm actually still live on stream, guys, but I saw you guys in here. Thought I'd drop in. What are you guys up to? Grand Arena?
I'm suffering.
Yes.
Gruesome. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well,
I'm
let me.
7 points away from K2 at 10 mil.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Well, let me say this, guys. If you're not on my Discord, let me drop the link because I don't want to interrupt and overtalk while he's trying to do his Grand Arena. I'll drop the link so you guys can drop in and hang out with us. I'm happy to talk more about it in between fights and stuff like that, but this looks like a reasonable enough point to wrap up the stream. So I'm going to drop out of this channel, let you do your next fight, and then I'll be dropping back into Discord to hang out with you guys. See you in a minute.
All right.
Okay. Let me see if there's any other quick questions to resolve in the chat. Yeah, Akuma, you're excited for Asajj. Imagine Boba being good. Yes, there's, and now we'll have a replacement so that your EP Mara Jade doesn't feel wasted with your Darth Vader Duel's End. I'm glad that when Stryker asked which one of these characters I'm looking forward to most, if I, that I exclude Spider-Maul, because Spider-Maul is going to be awesome. I'm a Maul fan, so this is great. This is great. I'm glad they finally did this. I knew it would eventually come, and so much the better. All right. I see. Yeah, Aragon Bromson. Let me not leave you out in the cold. You said, I want to ask a GAC question since I have to finish mine. I'm facing a Rey, Ben, Holdo, Resistance Bros with a Resistance Cron level 3, TM level 6. TM level 3, stun level 6. My plan is Bane set. Is there some specific Datacron wise that would be better? Malgus is generally pretty strong against Finzori, particularly if they're using the stun level 6, because your guys aren't going to be getting stunned so long as Darth Revan lives. And yeah, you should be able to kind of manhandle them with Malgus. That's if you have a high health Kron, so much the better. Otherwise, if you're dead set on using Bane, you did say you were going to use Bane set. Good, I agree with the set. Datacron that I would commit to that, something as close to the Wampacron as you have, if not the Wampacron itself. Very high armor penetration, or very high crit damage, or very high offense, whichever's the best of the three, I would say. Hopefully that helps, man. Good luck. Akuma, I'm curious if Spider-Maul will be good at 4-star. Seems quite easy to get with the new event structure, so I wonder if most of his power is gated behind high stars. I mean, almost certainly. Almost certainly. He'll be functional, and I think he'll be proportional. For the part of the game that if you're not taking him up to the highest relics, and you're competing, if you're having the character like other players around your level who are also not taking him to high relics, then you'll get comparable use and value, but probably not the highest. You won't be seeing the biggest bursts of whatever it is that he's meant to do. All right. Let me drop the link to my Discord. See if it drops. All right, it dropped over there on the YouTube side. It didn't help you guys over on Twitch. There is the link. So that's where I'm going to be hanging out immediately after stream ends. I guess we're going to watch a couple other folks. Yeah, I mean, the Cantina chat on my Discord is a safe place to Discord, but I guess I should create a couple streaming, like explicitly named streaming channels, because people are welcome to stream their Grand Arenas on Discord. All right, if you are watching me live, you already know I'm here at twitch.tv/Tassenix. I am also live from my YouTube channel, Tassenix Gaming. There's the link for that. If you haven't been there before, check it out. We've got a whole bunch of Swoggle-related content over there that I think you might be interested in, especially as a Grand Arena player. Got stuff like the AC Omicron tier list video, the mod guide series, talking about how to build up your mod collection from scratch all the way through advanced topics. There's 3 videos to break that up. So take your time, enjoy. Mod guides on characters and factions that you've been asking about. I'm very excited about the next one I'm working on. Patrons already know, but it's something you guys have been waiting for. Something people have been asking. You'll like it. It's also a rebroadcasting point for my Grand Arena focused podcast, Plotting and Scheming, that I make with my friends Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. We break down the last week into thereabouts of the top 100 of Kyber 1. We talk about how we dealt with the meta matchups, our favorite attacks and defenses that we saw out there, our lessons learned for the week to come, and anything else that we think is worth sharing with you. That show is native to Spotify, but wherever you catch an episode, check the description. And there's a link that you can use to plug that into your preferred podcast program. Follow us whichever way you like. Let's see. Last but never least, if you enjoyed anything over there on YouTube, hit like on that video. Hit subscribe to the channel to see more. Really appreciate that support. Had a bunch of followers here today that followed on Twitch and YouTube. Those are the best ways to support the channel. And what am I looking at? Oh wow, that's awesome. Really? Isn't that so? Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, my wife and I were just talking about the other day about sending our daughter to swimming lessons. And it just so happened that her school was having a fundraiser and there was a prize actually giving out, unbelievably enough, swim lessons to that very place. And inexplicably, my daughter won. So awesome. Absolutely awesome. Back on task. Anything, just following the channel, hitting like, hitting subscribe on YouTube, all that is the best way to support me. Really appreciate you guys that do. It's the best way to grow my channel. Of course, if you want to go above and beyond, you really like what I'm doing here and you want to support me further, there are a few ways. First, I have a Cash App. See if this link works today. Cash App, that is $Tassenix. New video series called On Task. No. I see what you did there. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, there's a Cash App. Oh, there. It repeats over there now. Huh. Okay, that's good to know. So is it going to work for this? Yay for little Task. She loves swimming. It's going to be fun for her. Good to see you, Vin. Let's see. Gosh, I keep getting distracted. I do have a PayPal. That is tassenix@gmail.com. And of course, if you want to get some enhanced scouting power for yourself, like what you see me use on stream, if you'd like to have early access to my content, including plotting and scheming, and a few other benefits besides, you might be interested in checking out my Patreon. Patreon.com/Tassenix. For any upwardly mobile Grand Arena player, there is something there of interest for you. At $5 a month, you enter the Task House at VIP access level, where you get early access to the Plotting and Scheming show that's coming out to our general audience Friday mornings at 8 a.m. But patrons get it as early as Monday or Tuesday night within hours of us finishing the recording. So you get that early edge going into the first round of the week. I also, from time to time, and especially by request, will make exclusives for patrons that you'll have at least a month of exclusivity on before it goes to the public. Some videos I've kept longer. Really cool stuff in there. But regardless, there is a dedicated voice and text chat on Discord where I'm usually hanging out. Hop on in with us, talk shop about Grand Arena, say hi. Thank you so much to Andrew, Banja, Boba Iza, Deadpool Cal 28, JJ's Productions Twitch, Jobin4527, Miasmal, Mus Ross, Raise Malvis, Sam Vimes, Sheepdog 47, Squed, Stark Strategy Gamer, Sweens 14, and White Wolf. Moving on up to the $10 a month tier is VIP Access Plus, where you get a bundled Patreon access to me and to your choice of either OmegaBot or Hot Utils Patreon. OmegaBot's that tool that you saw me use at the start of my Grand Arena stream. It's giving you those graphs showing you your opponent's offensive and defensive tendencies. Anybody can use that tool for free to scout their opponent's last week of Grand Arena history, but only patrons can build out a custom report with any number of weeks. You get a downloadable HTML version of it with links that you can click going right back into swugga.gg or Insight with data pre-sorted, just helping you further minimize your scout. Drill in on those questions. Alternatively, you might go for the Hot Utils Patreon, aka Chili subscription, which is your #1 tool for mass mod management and loadout creation. Nothing else lets you move so easily between your Grand Arena, TB, TW, raid mods. You can use the powerful automation feature like TJ and Fatal do to comprehensively remod your roster. You can slice through hundreds of mods in seconds, help out your guild in TW, whole bunch of good stuff in there. No wrong way to go at VIP Access Plus. Thank you so much to Aussie Mike, Darth Leia, Esh Sotnikam, JJ's Dad, Mr. Tony, Shake23501, Single Malt Jedi, Snack Attack, Striker, Supermart, Trouble Fingers, and Zoltre. At the top of the list in VIP Access Premium, this is $15 a month for the Double Bot Bundle. So Patreon access for me, OmegaBot, and Hot Utils, all under one subscription. Just going out and subscribing to the bots anywhere else costs the same as this bundle, which is why so many of my patrons say this is one of the best values in all of Swugga. Thank you so much to Argots, Arj, Bjorn, Big Ninja, Calidus Invictus, Depressed Wampa, Duckstab, Darth Link, General Milan, Ibanek, Johnny B. Ottawa, Ev, Mini GK, Pills, Quig, Rawling, Saldag, Sir Boss, Sophis, Sprizzle, The Lost Womp Rat, Trevor Boy Gaming, and Wilco. At the top end here, in Jester's Club Elite, first up is Nomad's Reaper, the one, the only, who drops in from time to time and showers the community with love. Hundreds of subs, thousands of biddies, set multiple hype train records himself. Thank you so much, my man, for all the support. To Pills, who's recently made a habit of popping in towards the end of my streams and just going ham, kicking off hype trains and whatnot. Usually during this, outro sequence. Crazy how he'll do that from time to time. And it's very much appreciated because he's come in and set off some crazy hype trains just himself. So thanks, man. Special thanks first to the Lost Womp Rat, who helped me set up my stream deck some time ago. I actually do need to get it working again. I got to follow up with him because it really helps me out in the background, and I appreciate him for helping me get that done. Yeah, to Mrs. T, my wife, thank you for all you do in the background, whether, it's bringing me a drink, something to eat here during stream, or just keeping our daughter from tearing the place apart, while I'm trying to be the very best like no one ever was at a phone game. And of course, to my co-hosts on Plotting and Scheming, Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aishin, Fatal. Gotta finish this before my voice gives out. Gentlemen, as always, it is a pleasure and a privilege to record our show together. 2+ years on, I appreciate that you guys make the time despite your busy work and family schedules, because I learn from you every episode. Hopefully the feeling is occasionally mutual, but regardless, it is not about us. It is about all of the comments, the DMs that I see on a daily basis, people telling us that the conversations that we have on the show give them something that gave them an edge in their round. They won the round because of something they picked up from us. So thank you guys for joining me every week. It's still really valuable what we're doing, and I wouldn't change a thing. All right. We are here at the end. Let's see. Swugga player means you have more money for R10 thanks to your daughter winning swimming. Yes, it's a pretty cool little package that she just won there. That's awesome. Yeah, Womp, we can talk about it. I mean, yeah, it's not super duper high priority, but it'd be nice to knock out if it's only a few minutes. I don't mean to take up a bunch of your time troubleshooting it. Anyway, yeah, Vin, yay for little tasks. Yeah. All right, let's see about rating you guys out then, and I'm going to go hop on Discord like I said I was going to. Twitch, YouTube. Okay, so who can I send you guys on out to? Looks like Arnold's live, so sending you out the door to Arnold. YouTube folks in 3, 2, 1. It is. And over here on Twitch, rating you out. Anybody I know? Anybody I want to hook up? I think I've rated into Hail Hydra before because I'm following him. I don't have a follow on Revan One Shen. Does he have? No, he's going on after the Baylan event. Not doing. I want to send you guys to Grand Arena. All right, we're going off to Hail Hydra then, starting up the raid. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a great start to the season. Strong opponent in Rockstar. Salute to you as always, sir. We'll see you again very likely next week, and hopefully I don't get had. Yeah. I'll let you guys know when I'm going live for round 2. It will be Saturday, probably in the late morning or in the early afternoon Eastern. We'll announce exact time on Discord. And until then, it's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome. Take care.